What's up, Unstoppable Squad? Today we have another AEW Dynamite full show results and thoughts coming you guys this way. We're under orange lights for AEW. I'm Unstoppable, and this is your AEW Dynamite 200 results. This contains spoilers. Tonight's historic 200th episode of AEW Dynamite was broadcasted live from the Something Center in Tampa Bay, Florida. Excalibur, Toni Schiavone, and the Human Suplex Machine, Taz, were the broadcast team for tonight's event. It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Chris Jericho and Takeshita with Don Callis versus Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. Jericho hit a shoulder block on Sammy, and Sammy sprung right back up to his feet. They traded chops, and then Sammy connected with a corkscrew dropkick, and Jericho got right up to his feet. Garcia tagged in and wrenched at Jericho's arm, yanking him down to the mat. Garcia taunted Jericho by dancing in front of him. Shida grabbed a tag and took down Garcia with the Shida line. Jericho nailed Garcia with a vertical suplex and then blew him a kiss to the viewers at home. Blew a kiss to the viewers at home. Callis grabbed Garcia's boot as Garcia was hitting the ropes. The distraction allowed Jericho to continue his assault on Garcia. Jericho attempted the lion salt, but Garcia raised his knees to counter. Sammy and Shida both tagged in, and Sammy unleashed a flurry of offense on Jericho and Shida, including an elbow suicida and a tornillo. Sammy got a near fall on Shida after a frog splash. Jericho broke up the pin attempt, and Sammy pushed Jericho. The Ocho pushed back until Garcia took expectation, jumping in and grounded and pounding on Jericho. Sammy's attention was diverted. Watching Garcia pummel Jericho, Shida took advantage of this and planted Sammy with a blue thunder bomb. Shida locked Sammy in the walls of Shida. Sammy escaped the Jericho but Jericho tagged in. Sammy rocked Jericho with a Spanish fly. Jericho and Sammy both had the same idea, trying for the clothesline. They both collided, knocking one of each other down. Garcia tagged in, but it was intercepted by Jericho and the Codebreaker for a near fall. Don Callis looks concerned. He should be, said Taz. Sammy nailed Shida with a thrust kick. Sammy followed up with a shooting star press to Shida on the arena floor. Oh, it's just Twitter. I was wondering what the heck that was. Garcia charged at Jericho in the ring, but Jericho raised a boot. Garcia blocked the Judas effect and rolled up Jericho for a near fall. Garcia applied the Dragon Tamer, while the referee was distracted by Shida and Sammy brawling outside the ring. Callis grabbed Jericho's bat and cracked Garcia in the head with it. Jericho saw him do it, said Excalibur. The referee didn't, but Jericho did, replied Taz. Oh boy, Chris has got a big decision here, doesn't he? Added Schiavone. Jericho turned to look at Callis and said, what the... But then Jericho covered Garcia and scored the pinfall victory. Not only did Jericho chose the win, chosen to win this match. He chose the Don Callis family over the Jericho Appreciation Society, said Excalibur. I understand what you're saying, but Chris looks perplexed, like he didn't want to do that. But he had to do it just to win this match, added Taz. Jericho making his choice here on AEW Dynamite 200, said Excalibur. AEW CEO, President, and General Manager Tony Khan was backstage. Tony Khan says, we're celebrating 200 episodes of AEW Dynamite tonight, and we're also celebrating an important milestone on our way to the biggest professional wrestling show of all time, AEW All In, August 27th at Wembley Stadium in London, which I will be covering for the full show results for you guys here on this channel. And I might be possibly going live for the reactions for you. Thank you to all the fans around the world who made it possible. And thank you to the wrestlers and staff. A highlight package aired of memorable moments from the past 200 episodes. After a commercial break, Renee was backstage trying to get a word with Chris Jericho. Before Jericho could respond to Renee, Matt Menard interrupted. Menard says, hey, I don't know what the hell is going on around here. Next week, Jericho Appreciation Society mandatory meeting. You're gonna be there. Got it? Jericho walked off without saying a word to Renee. Tony Schiavone was in the ring to introduce the FTW champion, Jack Perry. Jack Perry yanked the microphone out of Schiavone's hand. Jack Perry says, Jerry, I gave you a week to get ready for this. So get out here and take your ass kicking like a man. Jerry Lynn walked onto the ramp with a microphone. Jerry Lynn says, first of all, Jungle, you don't run the show around here. And as much as I'd like to come to the ring and make an example out of you, I won't, because that would be nothing more than child abuse. And second of all, I don't run the show around here. And with all the plates and screws in my neck, there's not a doctor alive that would clear me to return to the ring. But I just so happened to call a good friend of mine who just so happened to be a wrestler in ECW, who just so happens to still wrestle today. So what do you say, Jungle? Rob Van Dam walked onto the ramp and gave Jerry Lynn a high five. And I pretty much gave you guys the news about this, that he was being appeared at AEW All In. If you guys did not see that, I'm sorry. I posted it. I even posted it on TikTok. That's got like 1,600 views on TikTok as of right now. Well, as of what I saw before. But it is 1,640 views on TikTok. RVD walked to the ring, and that's pretty much my highest wrestling news video that I posted on TikTok. That's my highest wrestling news video. My other news, 743, as I can see right now, but it don't matter. My highest view on TikTok is 46.0K. If you want to know what that is, go check out my TikTok. It's down in the description down below. RVD walked to the ring and stared Jack Perry dead in the eyes. Jack Perry rolled out of the ring, wanting no part of Rob Van Dam. As Jerry Lynn and Rob Van Dam were talking in the ring, Jack Perry jumped back in with a steel chair. He swung it at Rob Van Dam, but Rob Van Dam dodged it. Rob Van Dam went for a spinning roundhouse kick, but Jack Perry ducked and retreated once more. Anything goes match. Jon Moxley versus Penta El Zero Miedo versus Trent Beretta. The action spilled outside before the match even began, with all three men brawling. Moxley chomped on Trent's forehead. Penta cracked Mox and Trent in the head with a trash can. Moxley surprised Penta El Zero Miedo with a cutter out of the corner. Moxley grabbed a barbed wire wrapped 2x4 from beneath the ring. Jon Moxley used the weapon on Trent, raking Trent's face with it. Moxley spiked Trent with a pile driver on the barbed wire 2x4. Trent fired back with a suplex to Moxley onto the barbed wire 2x4. Alex helped Penta set up two tables outside of the ring. Penta climbed to the top turnbuckle. Today, Junior. I know that. But Moxley ambushed Penta. Trent jumped onto the apron, climbing up to meet Moxley, and then superplexed Moxley through the tables on the arena floor. Trent and Penta teamed up to nail Moxley with thrust kicks. Penta crushed Trent with an avalanche destroyer through the table. Moxley rammed into Penta with a shoulder tackle. Sending Penta through the table, Moxley spilled a bag of thumbtacks onto the mat. Moxley planted Penta with a Gotch-style pile driver onto the tacks for a near fall. Moxley crushed Trent with a cutter onto the thumbtacks. The fans chanted, "Fight forever, fight forever." All three men traded forearms and chops in the center of the ring. Moxley connected with a King Kong lariat on Trent. Moxley clobbered Penta with a paradigm shift. Trent charged at Mox with a knee strike and then pinned Penta. Trent picked up the scraps left behind by Mox, said Taz. After the match, Mox locked Trent in a sleeper chokehold. Claudio and Wheeler Yuta began to make their way to the ring like a couple of sharks, but they were intercepted by Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy. Trent jumped off the top rope and wiped out the BCC. Inside the ring, Chuck Taylor fast-bailed a steel chair at Claudio. Orange Cassidy decked Moxley with the orange punch. Chuck Taylor says, "It looks like this didn't accomplish a thing. So how about Friday night on Rampage, we go back to Daly's place in Jacksonville. Meet us in the parking lot." Renee was backstage with Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam, RVD, says, "Renee, I heard Jack running his mouth. I mean, does he know people are listening? Dude, guess what? Next week I want to challenge you for the FTW Championship. And after I beat him and become the new FTW Champion, here's what I'm thinking. I've done this with so many championships in the past. I inflate the value and then I just retire it. But it depends how much fun I have next week wrestling Jungle Jerk. All you have to worry about, Jack, is next week, one-on-one, it's you and this guy, Rob Van Dam. Why retire a championship? Should come up with a new belt." like AEW, television belt or something like that, you know? So next we have AEW World Champion MJF came to the ring. The crowd chanted MJF, MJF, MJF. MJF said, sounds like we've got a couple devil warships in the house tonight. I'm a little emotional, so if you guys don't mind, I just want to have a real heart-to-heart conversation with everyone here tonight and everyone at home. As some of you may recall, I have attention deficit disorder. With this disorder comes a litany of other disorders linked to it. And one that I struggle with is called rejection insensitive disorder. Essentially, my brain is structured to not regulate rejection-based emotions or behaviors, making life sometimes really difficult for me. To be honest, life would have been pretty difficult for me without RSD. There's a lot in my past you guys don't know. I've been bullied, cheated on, lied to. Same here. I've been battered. I've been beaten up. And frankly, a lot of it I blacked out. Seems like me too. But there is one thing that I still remember to this day. And that is the day those kids walked up to me with their hands filled with quarters that threw them at me and said, "Pick it up, Jew boy." To this day, I can hear their laughter, and I remember saying to myself that day, I had to stab everyone in the back before they had the opportunity to stab me. But I am beginning to realize that that's no way to live. Because Tampa, while I was protecting myself, I ended up becoming one of them. I ended up becoming a scumbag myself. It's true. And to be honest, guys, being a scumbag is easy. Making you people hate me is easy. What's hard is being vulnerable and being open. That's hard. And I knew with my disorder that if I opened myself up and if I was mocked and you people booed me, it would kill me. But you know what? I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore, and that is because of each and every single one of you. You people taught me that you do care about mocks. You people taught me, by God, you've got sympathy for the devil. I'm not going to change overnight. I'm still a scumbag. And don't get me wrong, but I am ready to be your scumbag. But there is one person in particular you taught me to think like this. A person who taught me that I can trust. A person who taught me that I can be vulnerable. And yes, even MJF, the devil, deserves a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give you a warm round of applause for someone I believe is one of the best wrestlers in the world, one of the best humans in the world, my best friend, Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole, come on out here. Adam Cole walked to the ring. The fans chanted for Adam Cole. Adam Cole says, "Max, you continue to impress me every day, man. But seriously, it's not just because you're at such a young age, one of the best professional wrestlers in the world, but it's because of the man you're becoming. Because I do appreciate you coming out here and sharing your story. But I want you to know you're not alone. Max, for years I was a jerk because I thought that's what I had to do to success. And I was scared. Max, you are becoming the man you are meant to be. These people love you and adore you. They know deep down in your heart there is a good guy in there. So Max, I want to make sure you know this. Not only am I incredibly proud of you, but we are incredibly proud of you. Yes, we are proud of you, MJF. And, you know, this is going to break my heart seeing these two break up. If this really does break up, these two break up, I'm going, not just myself, but Mr. Santi Zap is going to be a broke heart and start crying. I would be crying too. Hold on, I want to drink my drink here real quick. Hold on. MJF said, I made you a promise after our match with FTR. I'd give you a shot at the Triple B, the AEW World Championship. And I gotta tell you, I've been thinking long on and hard on it. And I've come to the conclusion, you don't deserve a match. That is you. You don't deserve just any match. You deserve the match in front of the most historic crowd in the history of our sports. When MJF actually said you don't deserve a match, he paused and didn't say nothing at all. I was like, oh no, he's going to turn. Please don't do this, MJF. Right? And then he started saying his own things. What, buddy? On the most historic night in our sport, in the main event, MJF and Adam Cole in Wembley Stadium at All In. There is no one I would want to make history with more than you. So please sign this contract. Adam Cole signed the contract. Adam Cole, Max, I love you, man. MJF says, I love you too, dude. I see this, like, I feel like MJF's gonna pull something dirty at the event. Or, ooh, you know what's gonna happen? Adam Cole might blow him and pretty much betray MJF. Probably, that's what's gonna happen. Cole and MJF hugged. The main event is official, and pretty much I'm going to go live. I'm going to do a test this Sunday. I'm going to go live and see if any of the fans, you guys, on both of my YouTube channels, and if I do successfully this year on both channels, I'm planning on doing this for All In as well. Cole and MJF hugged. The main event is official. All In, London, Sunday, August 27th. The AEW World Championship is on the line. MJF versus Adam Cole, 1-on-1, said Excalibur. Backstage, Roderick Strong was shown destroying monitors, angered by what he had just seen. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett approached Strong. Taven, that's Cole, always forgetting about his real friends. Trios match, The Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks. Nick and Matt Jackson. I guess I did a news on that too yesterday. That The Elite has signed a new contract in AEW. They're not going to WWE, as rumors were saying that they were going to WWE. The Elite versus Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and Santama Scene. There would be no AEW without the Elite. Exactly, said Excalibur. Jarrett grabbed a headlock on Omega. Double J body slammed Kenny Omega and then did the Fargo strut. Jay Lethal tagged in, but Omega was ready for him with an arm drag. Matt Jackson tagged in, and he and Nick hit tandem offense on Lethal. Santama Seen tagged in, and the Bucks dropped kicked him. Santama connected with a crossbody on both the Bucks. Nick Jackson nailed Jeff with a super kick. Omega tagged in and cleaned house on Lethal, and Jarrett with a Polish hammers. Omega went for a moonsault, but Lethal countered by raising his knees. The Bucks invited Lethal and Jarrett to a super kick party. They brought Santama down to size with super kicks. Kenny followed up with a V trigger to Santama. Karen Jarrett jumped on the apron, of course she would, and distracted the referee. Omega hoisted up Santama for the one-winged angel. Sanjay Dutt ran into the ring and blindsided Omega. Lethal planted Omega with the lethal combination. Brandon Cutler hopped onto the apron and sprayed Karen with the cold spray. Yeah, Brandon Cutler. Does he still have the mask on? I didn't see. I don't think I saw this match. Excuse me, by the way, I burped. Sanjay rocked Brandon with a haymaker. Matt and Jeff Hardy ran to the ring and neutralized Sanjay Dutt. As the referee was distracted by the Hardys and Dutt, Jeff Jarrett grabbed a guitar. He swung it at Omega, but Omega ducked. Hangman and Adam Page appeared out of nowhere and derailed Jarrett with a buckshot lariat. Lethal grabbed the guitar, but before he could use it, Omega clocked him with the V-trigger. Omega finished off Lethal with the one-winged angel and pinned him. Kenny Omega says, "We've got some important news in case you guys don't have the internet. What's on your mind, Hangman? Tell them." Hangman says, "I don't know if you've seen, but there's been a big announcement today that the Elite have re-signed with AEW. So tonight, Dynamite 200, we're so happy to be here. And here's to the next 200. Omega says, "And whether it be Dynamite, Ring of Honor, Rampage, heck, even Collision, you're going to be seeing more of us. But until then, goodbye and good night." Bang! Those four men put the Elite in an all Elite, and they'll be around for years to come, said Excalibur. The Mogul Embassy played footage of them invading the Buddy Wayne Wrestling Academy. Nick Wayne was training in the ring when Swerve opened the door. AR Fox and Swerve Strickland swarmed Nick Wayne. They forced a bloody Nick Wayne to call Darby Allin. Darby picked up and Swerve grabbed the phone and admonished Darby for not calling AR Fox years ago. Swerve says, "We're the ghosts of your past, and we're here to haunt you. So this is just the beginning, Darby. Mogul Embassy forever." The Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship match. Aussie Open as your champions. Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis versus AAA Mega Champion El Hijo del Vinco and Commander. Vinco took down Fletcher with a tornado. Davis tagged in and Commander walked off the shoulders of Vinco and came down with a hurricanrana on Davis. Davis booted Commander in the head. Aussie Open doubles teamed Commander with their tandem offense. "They're just running through Commander right now," said Schiavone. Vinco tagged in and sent Davis to the floor with a drop kick. Minko nailed Fletcher with a diving leg drop. Finko and Commander attempted stereotype suicidas, but Aussie Open caught them and then rammed them against one of another spine first. Commander and El Hijo del Vinco walked the ropes and hit double moonsaults to the arena floor on Aussie Open. They followed up with stereo 450 splashes on Davis, but Fletcher broke up the pin attempt. Aussie Open rallied back and squashed Commander with the clotheslines, and then finished him off with the Corliss for the victory. Main event time: AEW Women's World Championship match. Toni Storm as your champion with the Outcast versus Hikaru Shida. Storm and Shida traded forearms in the center of the ring. Storm rallied outside to collect herself. Shida grounded and pounded Toni Storm. Shida battered Storm until Storm grabbed the rope. Shida nailed Storm with a running knee. Shida ripped Storm into the barricade. Hikaru Shida suplexed Storm into the turnbuckles. Storm gouged the eyes of Shida. Storm crashes into Shida with a hip attack. The Outcasts double-teamed Shida outside of the ring. Shida intercepted the hip attack and then German suplexed Toni Storm. Shida dazed Storm with 2 running knee strikes. Shida followed up with a missile drop kick for a near fall on Storm. Shida wobbled Storm with a meteor for a 2 count. Shida hoisted up Storm onto the top turnbuckle. Ruby Shoho yanked Shida down. Toni Storm DDT'd Shida. Storm crushed Shida in the corner with a hip attack. Storm followed up with a DDT, but Shida kicked out at the 2 count. Excalibur had breaking news and announced that next week for Dynamite, it will be Jack Perry against RVD in an FTW rules match. A lot of people are wondering what FTW stands for. I think it's Fuck the World Championship belt, but who knows. Shida connected with a knee strike. Shida planted Storm with the Falcon Arrow for a near fall. Saraya slipped a kendo stick into the ring. Shida and Storm fought for the kendo stick. Storm dropped to her knees and urged Shida to use it, knowing that Shida would get disqualified if she did. Instead, Shida turned around and hit Ruby Shoho in the head with it. Shida hit Saraya with it next. Shida threw the kendo stick down as referee Paul Turner grabbed the kendo stick and turned around to remove it from the ring. Toni Storm sprayed Shida in the eyes with the spray paint. Storm spiked Shida with the Storm Zero. Excuse me, sorry. But Shida kicked out at 2. Shida cradled Storm and pinned her. And your new AEW Women's World Champion, Hikaru Shida. Catch AEW Dynamite 200 on TBS next Wednesday, live at 8/7 Central from the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. This Friday, tune in to AEW Rampage at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT. And don't miss AEW Collision on Saturday, live on TNT at 8/7 Central from the Bon Soros Wellness Arena in Greenville, SC. And remember, the home of professional wrestling is All Elite Wrestling. Stay tuned for this Saturday. Reactions are going live for both channels. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for Impact Wrestling. I'm unstoppable, and I'm out.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Skiz here. And if you don't subscribe to Blonde and the unstoppable Denominator, then you are a toothy bumfuck, pussy ass bitch motherfucker.